Hello, Chris. Hi, how are you doing? I wanted to do a little video for you. I think we saw each other briefly as we were trying to connect at our meeting time. And I don't know if you saw me, but the connection wasn't very good. I am in Costa Rica right now, and I was in a rural part of Costa Rica, and it was also connected to an airline that put me on the plane ahead of schedule. So I wanted to connect with you and just give you some information that you can review in terms of what we I think discussed earlier and what may support you in anything that you're considering right now. And it's really wonderful because being in the doing the Carolyn Fryer Jones for the second year, with the emphasis on service consciousness. I always love to connect by these videos with kind of my own joy of service consciousness, and also to provide some extra value because I was traveling and we didn't get a good connection during our meeting. So the services I provide is I create live and online workshops for clients, as well as do production work, editing and post-production to create marketing materials that can enroll people into their workshops. Also, I create online education from the recordings of the workshops. I create online education helping people self-film, which is really popular right now because of the pandemic. Everybody began meeting virtually. They didn't go to recording studios. They did everything on Zoom, and people started to get used to that. I personally like to gather together and also to produce things like Carolyn's events, hybrid events, which I'm a big fan of, just because I love doing them, and I love both people connecting in person, and if it's too hard for them logistically, getting together virtually as well. And additionally, with these services, I connect with how people want to grow in terms of the impact that they have with those they serve. And with coaches and with people who work in the personal development field, often that is an evolution from one-on-one coaching to one-to-many, creating coaching for workshops. We have some construction going on next to me, so it's called the Pura Vida. It's Costa Rica. It means pure life, but it also means you kind of get what you get, like the infrastructure, and everybody's very laissez-faire, and like our connection. The difficulty with our Zoom call was pura vida. It's like, well, it didn't work. Let's move on. But I think it's okay if the audio is too bad from the wheelbarrow next to me. I'll just let you know. And so to kind of grow and to begin to fill workshops and to some people, want to evolve as a public speaker into, what's generally called a thought leader, having a larger audience, having greater impact. I also connect people with some teams that I've begun to vet. I started to do marketing. I started to build landing pages with like vendors in different parts of the world to make it inexpensive, some of who were very good. But in terms of actually generating traffic for enrollment, to fill workshops, and to just pack them in, I like to actually defer that to some really wonderful experts and to just share what I know. I've sent a few communications and blogs about this as well. It's something that's always evolving, like the best way. But I always land into the conversational approach. So my kind of philosophy is to use technology to support this prosperous coach, the Carolyn Fryer Jones conversational and personal connection approach. And the way that usually works is that everything that I create, all the systems that I help, a coach create, supports them in having the one-on-one connections, is to just bringing people in, having courses that people can do. If they can't afford to work with you one-on-one, I'm creating workshops, which is my favorite, funnest thing to do. And for the enrollment, sharing you what I know and pointing you in the right direction. And also, depending on the scale of how many people you'd like to enroll, I often support you myself as well. I can tell you how to do that just with simple landing pages and maximizing any email list you have, as well as I think the new thing is to really start being on podcasts and to connecting with affiliates, to connecting with those who are close to you, who have clients that they work with that are similar to, that there's a kind of crossover to what you work with. The things that you are gifted with, that you connect with. For example, if you specialize in coaching people on money, you may connect with my wonderful client and friend Kameen Samuels, or Linda Humphreys, another client who I love, who are building money workshops, who have podcasts. I know, like, so many of my clients have podcasts. They invite people on, and when they're on, they talk about their work, and they give people a link to go to. There's a wonderful, graceful way of doing this that is less salesy and very service consciousness. But anyway, I wanted to just start a conversation and to see. I'm actually in a workspace now in Costa Rica, so I don't think I'll have the infrastructure issues that I had when I was traveling. And if you have a chance, you might read the blog. I'm a coach also, so I'm always creating content on my social media that brings value to people who I might support as a coach. So I had the whole traveling issue connected with the storm in Los Angeles. You may have heard of that. That was also why everything was running a day late, including my position for our conversation. I welcome us to connect, and I'd like to really start listening and hearing what you have to do, and just to share and support however what you're creating evolves. It's a wonderful thing to connect. I feel most of all that I'm a cohort with my clients, and also a cohort with people who may not be my clients, but just wanted to talk and ask